Ram Bhajunitai Gaurango Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Bhajunitai Gaurango Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Bhajunitai Gauranga Radheshyam Japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Shri Gurudeva ki Jai, Shri Mahavira Rahman ki Jai. Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur, Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam. Navadwip Parikram. One day, Gaura Navadvip said to Baba Mahasai, every year we used to go for Navadvip Parikram. It is unfortunate that the Parikram is now stopped. I am sure you can reorganize it. Babaji, I am your child. You have only to command, and I should strive to do my best. On which day Parikram used to start? Karta Baba, on the day after Gaur Purnima. Babaji, very well. Then we start for Parikram on that day. Karta Baba, but provisions and lots of other things have to be collected. Babaji Mahasai, why? We are Vairagis. Why should we make any collection? We shall take the name of Nitai Chand and start. He will arrange as he pleases. So the Parikram started. They first camped at Madai Tala. Next morning, as they were passing through Idrakpurer Charha, 7 or 8 steady-looking persons blocked their way. Who are you? What do you want? Asked Babaji. We are all cowherds. This is our village. You have to stay here today. We shall not let you go. So they stayed there. They first circumambulated the village with kirtan. They were then taken to the house of Banshi Ghosh, the leader of the cowherds in the village. Bansi was very generous and open-hearted, but rather commanding in demeanor. He was fond of using the word Shala in whatever he said. Shala literally means brother-in-law and is often used as a mild term of abuse. Banshi, however, used the term only as a matter of habit. He called some of his assistants and said, "Go and tell every Sala in the village that the saints who have come from Navadvip to grace us must be entertained well." We shall feed them with pajas, delicious food prepared from milk, rice, and sugar. And pajas alone, and make them eat it to their fill. So no Sala shall carry his milk outside the village for sale today. All the milk must be collected here at my place. The sadhus who hear this utter in dismay, "Oh, pajas alone! How shall we eat only pajas?" Banshi felt dispirited. He said dejectedly, "Oh, the shalas are sickly. All right, we should prepare some rice and pools as well." While arrangements were on for the royal feasts, Baba Mahasai started Sankirtan. The villagers were overwhelmed with joy and emotion, for they had never heard such kirtan before. When Sankirtan was over, Baba Mahasai gave mantra to many villagers at the request of Bansi. Then, after taking Mahaprasad, he started onwards in the afternoon. He stayed in Bilva Pushkarini for one night and started again the next morning. He did not go on Parikram straight through the direct route, but through the interior of the villages, because his main purpose was to preach Harinam among the villagers. As usual, he went dancing and singing at the head of the procession. An important man in the party was the venerable Jatija Ram Das Baba. He was always in ecstasy. He also went dancing with him. At about 9 o'clock, they reached Brahmanpukur. Many people assembled there and insisted on their staying in the village for some time. They stayed in a place near the market. The villagers began to make arrangements for their Mahaprasad. Baba Mahasai and the members of his party waited and did their morning puja and started Sankirtan. The sound of the kirtan attracted many people. The passers-by, the schoolboys going to the school, the shopkeepers, the laborers, and others going on their respective business were all drawn in. All looked at Baba Mahasai singing and dancing in ecstasy and started singing and dancing themselves. Even the people who had never heard the name of Nitai Gaur danced and wept as they sang, Vaya Nitai Gaur Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. The Sankirtan continued for 4 hours. At 3 o'clock, Mahaprasad was ready. They took Mahaprasad and rest. At 9, after a reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita, they went to sleep. Next morning, after performing their morning service, they started again. The number of people in the party went on increasing, for many people who heard their soul-stirring kirtan were so moved that they found it difficult to resist the temptation of joining their company. They crossed the Ganges and reached Mayapur. They performed kirtan for some time in the temple of Sri Kedarnath Dut Bhaktivinoda Mahasai and then proceed toward the Samadhi of Chand Kasi, the Mohammedan governor of Nadia, who has surrendered at the feet of Mahaprabhu. Jai Ho! They paid homage to the Kasi by performing kirtan at the Samadhi. Near the Samadhi, beneath an old tree, there was the kutir of a Muslim. From his appearance, it was difficult to say whether he was a Hindu or a Muslim. He came in the midst of the kirtan and began to dance and sing. Singing and dancing, he fell at the feet of Baba Mahasai and wept and wailed, and he said, Ha, Gurudev, have mercy on me. Give Harinam in my ear, for you are the very same person, the person of my heart, to whom I surrendered a long time back. I have been waiting for your darshan all this time in utter helplessness. The day before yesterday, I prayed to Kasi Sahib, and he told me toward the end of the night, do not worry, a Mahatma will come here soon. You open your heart to him, he will show mercy on you. According to his foretelling, you have come. Now have mercy on me. Do not neglect me, because I am so fallen and sinful. Jai Mahavira Radharaman. Do not neglect me. I am so fallen and sinful. Baba Mahasai said, Kasi Sahib told you about the coming of a Mahatma, but I am not a Mahatma. I am a Duratma, a sinful creature. You are a sadhu and a favorite of Kasi Sahib. You should show mercy on me. But the person will not listen. He held the feet of Baba Mahasai and began to weep and wail. Baba Mahasai was moved. He uttered the Hare Ram mantra into his ear. As soon as he heard the mantra, he fell senseless on the ground. The kirtan party formed a ring round him and continued kirtan. When he regained conscious, Baba Mahasai asked him to remain at the Samadhi and do bhajan. Jai, Jai Ho. Then the party proceeded toward Suravi Kunj or Swarupa Ganj. They reached Swarupa Ganj at about 10 a.m. They had nothing with them to fall back upon for their Mahaprasad. As Providence would have it, a shopkeeper said to Jatija Ramdas Baba, I always give provision to the sadhus when they came here for Parikram. So I will give provisions to you and will not let you take anything from anyone else. He meant that he used to supply provisions to the sadhus and they paid for it, but simply heard Jatija Baba thought that the shopkeeper was a devotee. He had been rendering this service to the sadhus without charging anything and will do the same with them. Jatija Baba took from the shopkeeper everything that was needed. The shopkeeper gave everything liberally. If Baba wanted 1 kilo of a commodity, he said, no, 1 kilo will not do, I am giving 2 kilos. Baba thought the shopkeeper was very charitable and he was happy. Later, Baba Mahasai said to Jatija Baba, Dada, heaps of provisions had arrived. Provisions. Is someone going to pay for them or you have yourself to foot the bill? He replied, there is no question of payment. The shopkeeper is a great devotee. He gave me everything liberally. I asked for 1 kilo, he gave me 2 kilos. In due course, the food was ready. It was offered to the deity and Babaji Mahasai started Boga Arti Kirtan. Many people came to hear the Kirtan. The Kirtan was so sweet that neither the performers nor the listeners wanted that it should stop. So it continued till late in the evening, when they could not think of proceeding onward after taking prasad. So they took prasad and after resting for a while again started kirtan, which continued till 11 o'clock. Next morning, when they were preparing to leave, the shopkeeper came with a bill containing a long list of items and placed it before Baba Mahasai. Baba Mahasai said, what is this? Yesterday account, said the shopkeeper. Ram Das Jatija Baba was red with rage. He said to the shopkeeper, did you not say that you will always supply provisions to the sadhus who came for Parikram? Shopkeeper, I do not deny that I say so, but did I say that I supply the provisions free of cost? Jatija Baba, but this is what I understood. This is the impression you gave me. Shopkeeper, Baba, I'm a poor man. How can I afford to supply the provisions free? Jatija Baba looked at Baba Mahasai and others and said, now you fellows mortgage me to the shopkeeper and go. Baba Mahasai laughed and said, if you are mortgaged to him, his money will still remain unpaid. On the contrary, the poor man will have to pay for your food. Others says to the shopkeeper, you should have made it clear that you will give the provisions on payment. We will have then collected the provision by begging. But what can we do now? Baba Mahasai said to the shopkeeper, what is the total amount of your bill? Shopkeeper, 45 rupees and 13 and a half annas. Babaji, if you come to the ashram of my Gurudev in Navadwip after 4 or 5 days, I can beg and pay the amount to you. But I am a stranger and a Vairagi. I do not know how far you can trust me. Shopkeeper, I trust you without doubt, but kindly write this on a piece of paper and sign. Baba Mahasai laughed and said, well, I should do the same. Lalita Dasi said, why not let us try and collect the money from our own party if possible? Baba Mahasai said, you can try. Lalita Dasi could collect 13 rupees and 15 annas only. Baba Mahasai said to the shopkeeper, take this money. For the rest, I should sign a note and you collect the money from my Guru's ashram After 5 days, the shopkeeper agreed. He brought a piece of paper from his shop and gave it to Baba Mahasai to write the note. Baba Mahasai asked, "What amount remains to be paid?" Shopkeeper, "I forgot 13.5 annas. Out of rupees 45, you deduct 13 rupees is and 15 annas and write out a note for 31 rupees. Babaji, no, why? I write a note for rupees 32. After thus fully satisfying the shopkeeper, Baba Mahasai and his party proceed onwards. Singing and dancing all the way, they reach a garden near Dolaparha, where they decide to stay. After taking their bath and doing the morning service, they started kirtan. The sweet melody of the kirtan began to attract large crowds from the village. Very soon the sequestered retreat was filled with a large number of people, because though these people lived near Navadwip and they had heard kirtan many times before, never had kirtan touched their heart so much as now. They say to one another, "In Navadvip we have heard kirtan performed by the great masters of music in Big Tal and Sur, with a numbers of persons playing on khol and kartal. But here there is only one khol and one kartal, and the sor is most ordinary. Yet we feel transport into such ecstasy as we never experienced before, and look at this Mahapurush who is leading this kirtan. How tears of love are incessantly flowing from his eyes, and all the other Sattvika Bhavas are appearing on his body from time to time. His very sight arouses bhakti in our hearts, and we feel like surrendering ourselves completely at his feet and renouncing the world for the sake of his company." Kirtan continued for a long time. In the meantime, the villagers had made elaborate arrangements for their dinners. They offered the food to the deity and took Mahaprasad. Apart from the people in their party, about 200 other people also took Mahaprasad with them. They stayed in the garden for the night. The next day they crossed the Ganges and reached Samudragar, where they stayed under a tree and performed kirtan. It was Ekadasi that day, so they did not eat anything. The next day the villagers will not let them go without taking prasad. So after doing kirtan for 3 hours in the morning, they took Mahaprasad, and after taking some rest, started for Navadvip. Dancing and singing, they reached Navadvip in the evening. Bhajanitai Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Jai Mahavira Ramancharan Das Devaki Jai Jai Nitai Jai Gaur Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam. Thanks for watching.